Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. XFL Week 5. After this week, we'll be halfway through the 2023 XFL season. Last week, Week 4, 4-0 straight-up picks. 4-0 against the spread and 3-1 on the over-under. Year-to-date takes me to 12-4 straight-up picks, 12-4 against the spread, 7-9 on the over-under, 31-17 overall. 64.5%. I am definitely happy with that. We've had 16 XFL games in 2023. The top 5 attendance, the BattleHawks, from St. Louis, March 12th. 38,310, their first game at home. They'd opened the fourth deck up for that. It's a complete sellout. The second most fans this year is San Antonio Brahmas, February 19th, 24,245. That was their first game. They have not had a second home game yet. The DC Defenders on March 5th, 16,212. That was actually their second home game. Their first home game, which March 19th. So that was their first home game. Their next home game was March 19th. They 12,438. Fourth, Seattle Sea Dragons on March 11th, 15,103. That was their second game. Their first game, they only sold 10,386. The Houston Roughnecks, February 18th, sold 12,784. That was their first game. Their second game on February 26th was 11,765. So down just a tick. All the games have been on ABC, ESPN, FX, ESPN2. I know there's people who have been talking about ratings. I think when the games are on ESPN2 and FX, that's going to affect the ratings because those are channels that people don't normally have on certain packages and they don't maybe have the ability to watch them. Alright, so the first game we have here, number 1 in the South, the Houston Roughnecks, 4-0, going up against the Seattle Sea Dragons, who are 2-2. The Roughnecks have scored 17 touchdowns this year and given up 8, while the Sea Dragons have scored 11 touchdowns, given up 7. Houston has scored at least 22 points in each game this year. Well, Seattle's won 2 straight, but they beat an 0-4 Vegas team and a 1-3 San Antonio team. So when you're 0-2 and you beat 2 teams worse than you, yes, you've won 2 straight. Are you going to really be able to go there and hammer out a 4-0 undefeated team? I think not. Houston's favored by 3. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 42. Next up, we have the first and second matchup in the North. The 4-0 DC Defenders going into St. Louis against the 3-1 St. Louis BattleHawks. The Defenders have given up 11 touchdowns on the year. 17 points a game, but 11 of those came from touchdowns. They've scored 10 touchdowns themselves, while the BattleHawks have only given up 7 touchdowns and scored 12. In Week 3, this is the first rematch. Week 3, DC won in DC 34-28. Because of that, DC is favored by 2. You know what? The BattleHawks are at home. That home crowd can make a difference. I'm giving the 2 points to St. Louis. I got St. Louis winning, covering, and under on the 42.5. Typically, I know in the CFL and some of the NFL, on the rematch games, you typically see lower points scored. Next up, the battle of the 0-4 teams. Somebody has to win. Gotta listen, this is a tie. What's the XFL tie rules? The 0-4 Orlando Guardians, the 0-4 Vegas Vipers. Yeah. The Orlando Guardians have lost all but one game by at least 18 points, while the Vipers have scored 18 or plus points in 3 games. The Vipers are favored by 7.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 42. I don't even know how to do that one. Alright, next up we have the 2-2 Arlington Renegades versus the 1-3 San Antonio Brahmas. The Renegades have scored 4 touchdowns on the year and given up 12, while the Renegades have scored 7 and gave up 9. Each of the 3 losses by the Brahmas have been by less than 9. Their win was by 2 points. San Antonio is favored by 2.5. This was a tough one for me. If you look at the defense, Brahmas are giving up 16.75 points a game, while the Renegades are giving up 19. But the Renegades are only scoring 14.25 points a game. I'm picking the Brahmas to win, cover the 2.5, and over on the 35. We are halfway through the year after this, so we've got to look at playoff time. In the North, the top two will play for the North title, while the top two in the South will play for the South title, and then the two of those will face head-to-head for the XFL championship. DC is 4-0, going up against the BattleHawks, who are 3-1. They play head-to-head this week, so we can have two teams at 4-1. One game behind is the 2-2 Seattle Sea Dragons, while over in the South we have the 4-0 Houston Roughnecks. Second place is the 2-2 Arlington Renegades, and then the San Antonio Brahmas, 1-3 or -1. That is week 5 of the XFL. Stay tuned to Robert Sports Show for NASCAR previews for the weekend races, NASCAR topic videos, pro wrestling, all kinds of great stuff coming to Robert Sports Show. All kinds of topic videos for NASCAR and pro wrestling and NCAA college basketball. Got to have March Madness. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.